Hello, I'm Stuart, and today we're going to be unboxing the BlackBerry Curve 8520. This is as it will come if you buy it from a car phone warehouse. So this one actually came from an order that we placed on our own website. Most BlackBerries are coming in the same box nowadays. It's got all your details on the side of the box there. The key one is going to be the pin that you can get off there. You can use that for your messenger and things like that, but it has the IMEI and everything on there. So, open the box, it's just a normal flap at the bottom and it opens up to the top like that. On top of everything here, you've got the manual, the software, and this is actually in a pack because it has some instruction booklets as well as the software for the desktop, and you can use that. It's very important that you stick that on your computer, and you can use that for backing up your phone, sorting out your email addresses, getting music on there, apps, all sorts of things. So that's really useful. You should put that on and explore that. Underneath that, we've got the phone. We've got a cardboard layer here and the phone itself. Just get that out for you. There's the phone itself. This one is sort of notably a lot lighter than a lot of the other BlackBerries, and as it's slightly more affordable, you'll see the functions on it are quite basic by comparison, but that's really good for someone who's, they don't need everything in a smartphone. They don't need to spend masses on it, but they can still get all the key functionalities. It's really useful. We'll go back into more of the phone in a moment though. Underneath the cardboard layer here, we have basically just the rest of the contents of the box. As standard with most BlackBerries, you have a 2-pin and 3-pin charger connector. Now the way this works is that you have this white box in here. Inside here you have the charger, which has small USB style end to it, and then you have the main part of the charger. Now it has a little plastic slide, you just take that off. Now that's only on there to protect these 2 pins because they're quite flexible. What you do is you select the piece you need, so we'll go for the 3-pin for British plugs. And you can see that on the back of here there's a connector which will then touch these pins on here. So it's just a case of sliding it up until it clicks. Once it's clicked like that, that's locked on and you've got no problems with it. If you ever want to change it to the 2-pin, like if you're going abroad, there's this button here, you just push that down and then you can slide it off. And you can bring the other one on, slide that one on, and it clicks in place just the same. So it's a really useful little function that they have with those. Apart from the charger, we've also got the battery. We'll put that in the phone, show you how to install that in a bit. We've got the headphones. These have a small button here, and it has the microphone there, so you can use it as a hands-free kit. But it's also very good for listening to the music or when you're watching videos or anything like that on the phone. It does have external speakers, but these are very good. And lastly, you've got the data cable. This is the same connector as the charger, and then obviously a USB connector on the other end. This is becoming pretty much standard across all BlackBerries, and you'll see that a lot of phones now have these connectors, so it's very useful to have a couple of these wires in the office, one at home, such like that. And that's everything you get in the box itself. So we'll just give you a quick tour of the phone. Okay, as we see, we've got the screen here. It's not a touchscreen phone, this one. You have these 4 buttons here for your answer a call. That's your menu button. That's your back or go up menu, and then that's your end call power on off button. Those do click in even though they look like they're part of the screen, so they're not touchscreen, you do need to press on those. This here is it's a generally relatively new feature for BlackBerries. The 8520 was the first one in the UK to have it, and it's an optical trackpad. The old BlackBerries used to have a little ball that when you pushed it side to side it would move your cursor around on the screen, but this is like the bottom of a laser mouse. You just have to push your finger over it, swipe your finger over it, and it will move your cursors around. It's very, very good. It means that dirt doesn't get stuck in behind the ball, and it's much more reliable. I've got it on my BlackBerry. It's a really good feature, and you'll see it in a lot of the more recent BlackBerries. You've got a full QWERTY keyboard. The functions, it's got 2 functions on every key, and you can access the second function by the Alt button here. You've got your space bar and different symbol buttons and things like that. It's very easy to get used to. The keys do look very small, but you'll notice that as you run your finger over them, they're angled to make them easy to find with your fingers, so you don't find that you're mashing 3 keys at a time. It's very good in the way that it's designed, so you can find it really easily. Okay, apart from that, you've got up here one of the speakers, and that's where you're obviously where you're listening to, but it's also where your music will be playing through. Now on the top of the phone, unlike a lot of BlackBerries that have the key locks and such, this one actually has, I don't know if you'll be able to see it there because this is quite dark buttons, but you can just see the forward track, back track, mute and play button. So this shows that this phone is really, it's designed for more sort of, not as much for business and more for media and things like that. It is still very good business phone. It's BlackBerry after all, but this is very good for the sort of social media and someone who's going to have their music and everything else on there as well. On this side here, you can just see with the way the shadow is, you've got 3 buttons, and these are for volume up and down. This is for your camera. Towards the bottom, this is all plastic along the edges, very smooth, and there's one more button there. There's your connector, and there's your headphone socket. Now these buttons on the side are actually what they call convenience keys, and these can be mapped to any function you like. They do come with standard functions that are very intuitive, but you can map those, and so you can, by pressing one of those buttons, launch an app or something like that, and that's all done in the memory when you get into the settings on the phone. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, from the back of the phone, I'm just going to take this peel off for you, just so you can see the back plastics. It's very shiny on the back there. And you have the BlackBerry symbol, and here you have the camera. Now, because this is one of the smaller, cheaper priced BlackBerries, the camera is only a 2 megapixel camera, but the software on the phone does make very good use of that. We've sort of had to play with one of these before, and you can get some very good pictures. Okay, so that's the basic overview of the phone. I'll just show you the inside. There's a small lip here on the bottom middle where you can just see a darker patch there on the screen. Just get your finger in there and lift up the back. Very easily comes apart. Inside here we've got the memory card slot. Now you don't get a memory card in this when you get it. So it comes with a small memory on its own, but if you want to start uploading lots of media on there, videos and music and such, you're going to need to buy a small memory card to be able to fit in there. Your SIM card goes in here. Now you can see here it has an instruction of which orientation you need the SIM card in. You just place it on this metal tray and it slots under this black bar here as you slot it in. There's your gold connectors for the battery. So your battery will go BlackBerry symbol side up into the phone like that and click down. And that is your BlackBerry 8520 curve.